I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these. You always think you're special, that your marriage is the one exception to the statistics. But looking back, I realize I was just blind. My name is Mark, and 6 months ago, I destroyed my wife's life. Or rather, I let her destroy it, and I just made sure she felt every single brick hit her on the way down. She wanted a dream house, a new car, and a life of luxury before leaving me for her coworker. Instead, she got a foreclosure, a public humiliation, and a cardboard box. Here is how I dismantled my marriage. Piece by piece.
To give you some context, my wife Sarah, 32 female, and I have been married for 7 years, together for 10. I work in software engineering, specifically in cybersecurity. That detail is important for later. Sarah works in PR. For years, things were great, or so I thought. I worked long hours to fund our lifestyle. We live in a high-cost area in California. I paid the mortgage, the bills, the vacations. Sarah's salary was effectively her fun money. About a year ago, Sarah started talking about upgrading. She wanted the forever home, a place with a pool, a guest house, the works. It was a stretch financially, but I had recently inherited a significant sum from my late grandfather, and my stock options at work were vesting. I wanted to make her happy. We started house hunting. At the same time, she started working late, a lot. She blamed a big merger at her firm. She was constantly texting her project manager, a guy named Greg. I met Greg once at a Christmas party. He was the kind of guy who shakes your hand too firmly and smiles with too many teeth. But I trusted my wife. I was the provider, the rock. Why would she look elsewhere?
The day my life ended was a Tuesday. It was mundane. Sarah was in the shower. She had left her iPad on the kitchen island. Usually I respect her privacy, but I wanted to check the weather for a weekend trip I was planning to surprise her with. I tapped the screen. It wasn't locked, but the weather app wasn't open. iMessage was. The messages were syncing from her phone in real time. I saw a name, Greg Enb. My stomach dropped. I shouldn't have looked, but I couldn't stop. I scrolled up. It wasn't just flirting. It was vivid, graphic. They mocked me. One message from Sarah stood out, glowing on the white screen like a neon sign of betrayal. She wrote, "Just hang in there, baby. He's closing on the house in 2 months. Once my name is on that deed and the inheritance is tied up in the equity, I'm filing. We'll have the house and I'll take half his 401k. We just need to play the part a little longer." Greg replied, "Can't wait to sleep in his bed." I felt like I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the iPad. I heard the shower water stop. I panicked. I put the iPad down, grabbed my keys, and walked out the front door before she could see my face. I sat in my car around the corner and just screamed. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't confront her the next day. Being in cybersecurity, I know one thing. Information is ammunition. If I confronted her now, she'd spin it, hide assets, or gaslight me. I needed to be a ghost. For the next 6 weeks, I put on the performance of a lifetime. I smiled. I cooked dinner. I talked about the new house. I even let her pick out curtains for a bedroom I knew she'd never sleep in. Inside, I was dying. Every time she touched me, my skin crawled. While she was planning the decor,
I was planning the war. First, I contacted a shark of a divorce lawyer. I showed him the screenshots I had captured. He told me, in California, it's a no-fault state. Infidelity doesn't impact the division of assets much, but if we can prove she is planning financial fraud, or if we structure the house purchase correctly, we can screw her over. So we hatched a plan. A house closing was scheduled for October 1st. I told Sarah that to get the best interest rate, and because the inheritance money was technically separate property, the lender suggested I buy the house in the name of a trust. I told it was just tax stuff and that I'd add her name to the title 6 months later to refinance. She hesitated. She texted Greg. He wants to put it in a trust first. Is that a problem? Greg, the idiot, replied, "Nah, as long as you're married when he buys it, it's community property. We're good. Let him pay the down payment." Greg was wrong. My lawyer had set up an irrevocable trust funded solely by my inheritance, which is not community property if kept separate. The house would belong to the trust, not me personally, and since I hadn't mixed the funds yet, she had zero claim to it. I also started moving my personal items out of the house slowly. Just small things: high school yearbooks, expensive watches, important documents. I stored them at a buddy's place. She never noticed. She was too busy sending nudes to Greg in the office bathroom. The week of the closing came. Sarah wanted to throw a pre-move-in party at the new house. The sellers had already moved out, so the place was empty. She invited everyone: her friends, her family, my family, and, audaciously, some work colleagues, including Greg. She wanted to show off. She wanted to parade her victory. I decided this was the perfect stage. The party was in full swing. About 40 people were in the empty living room, drinking champagne out of plastic cups. Everyone was congratulating us. Greg was there, standing in the corner, smirking at me. He even shook my hand and said, "Lucky man, Mark. It's a beautiful estate." I smiled. "You have no idea, Greg." At 8 p.m., I tapped my glass with a spoon. Silence fell over the room. Sarah beamed, hanging on to my arm, looking like the doting wife. "I want to make a toast," I said, my voice echoing in the empty hall, "to new beginnings and to honesty." I pulled out a remote. I had set up a portable projector earlier, claiming we'd watch a slideshow of our memories. Sarah and I have been through a lot, but recently, I realized that our futures are heading in different directions. I clicked the button. This is the explosion. The first image wasn't a wedding photo. It was a screenshot of the text, "He's closing on the house. Once my name is on the deed, I'm filing." A hush fell over the room. It was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Sarah froze. Her grip on my arm tightened, her nails digging in. "Mark, what is this? Turn it off," she hissed. I ignored her. Click. Next slide. A photo she sent Greg. Explicit. Click. Greg's reply. "Can't wait to sleep in his bed." Gasps erupted from her family. Her mother put a hand over her mouth. Greg, across the room, turned pale white and started backing toward the sliding glass door. I pulled my arm away from Sarah. "Sarah," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "you wanted this house. You wanted the lifestyle. You planned to divorce me the moment the ink was dry." I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a thick envelope. "Well, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is I know everything. The good news is you don't have to wait to file for divorce." I handed her the envelope. "I've already filed. These are the papers. Consider yourself served." She looked at the papers, then at me, tears welling up, not of sorrow, but of panic. "Mark, stop. You're embarrassing me. We can talk about this." "And one more thing," I said, turning to the crowd. "This house, the one Greg couldn't wait to sleep in, I bought it this morning, but not in my name. It's in a trust.
funded by inheritance. You have no claim to it. You have no claim to my savings. And since you signed the prenup 7 years ago regarding infidelity clauses, well, you get nothing. I looked at Greg, and Greg, I forwarded all these chats to your HR department an hour ago. Since you two used company phones for some of these interactions, I think you violated the corporate conduct policy. Enjoy the unemployment line.
The chaos that followed was beautiful. Her dad was screaming at Greg. Sarah was sobbing on the floor trying to grab my leg. I simply walked out, got in my car, and drove to a hotel where I had booked a suite for the week. In the aftermath, the divorce. It was finalized quickly because of the evidence and the prenup, which I thank God I insisted on back when I was young and cynical. She walked away with her car and her personal savings, which were less than $5,000. The job, Greg was fired immediately. It turns out sending explicit photos on a company-issued iPhone is a breach of contract. Sarah was asked to resign to avoid a scandal, as Greg was technically her superior on some projects. The house, I kept the house. I live in it now. It's big, quiet, and peaceful. I bought a dog, a German Shepherd named Buster. He's more loyal than Sarah ever was.
Sarah tried to reach out a month ago. She's living in a small apartment with 2 roommates. She sent a long email about how she made a mistake and misses the life we had. I didn't reply. I just forwarded the email to Greg. To anyone listening, trust but verify. And if you find out you're being played, don't get mad immediately. Get smart. Wait. Plan. And when you strike, make sure you don't miss. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story of revenge, hit that like button. Stay safe out there, and watch your back.